Hello everybody, we are going to go over MEOW 10 in this video to help you while you are studying. Okay, this quiz is on ratios and proportional relationships. Alright, for the first question, it says Mel has a recipe that says for 6 muffins she needs 360 grams of oat flakes. How many grams of oat flakes does Mel need for each muffin? So right now, my rate is 360 grams for 6 muffins. And we need to know how many grams of oat flakes for each muffin. So if this is my rate, I can use this to find my unit rate. My unit rate is how many for one. Okay, so the quantity for one item. All right, how much is it for 6 muffins? I'm going to divide by that denominator top and bottom. I get 1 at the bottom because 6 divided by 6 is 1. So for one muffin, all right, it's going to be however many grams. So you can do long division if you do not have a calculator. All right, and 6 goes into 36 6 times. 6 times 6 is 36. Subtract, you get 0. Bring down 0. 6 goes into 0 0 times. 0 times 6 is 0. And we get 60. 60 grams of oat flakes for one muffin. You could also do 360 divided by 6 in a calculator if you have it, but you should be able to do long division. Okay. For number 2, it says the total cost of 100 pencils purchased at a constant rate is $39. What is the unit price? So right now, my rate, money always goes on top if you forgot. My rate is $39 for 100 pencils. To figure out how much the unit price is, that's how much it is for one pencil, I'm going to divide by that denominator on top and bottom. And when I do 39 divided by 100, you can do long division or use a calculator. I get 0.39, so 0.39 over 1. And that is the same thing as C. Okay, a trick also is if you're dividing by a power of 10, there's 2 zeros. Here's a decimal at the end. If you don't see a decimal, it's always at the end. Move it 2 times to the left. Go left the number of zeros. So if I was dividing by 1,000, then I'll do 3 jumps to the left, and it would be 0.039. But that's not what we were doing. Okay. So before we move on, when I am done talking right now, I want you to pause the video and do the long division for number 1 and number 2 to make sure you know how to do that. All right, so go ahead and press pause now and then press play when you're ready so that we can look at number 3. Go ahead. All right, welcome back. Let's look at number 3. I'm going to change my color. All right, I'm going to do purple this time. Oh, that kind of looks like the other color, so I'll do red. All right, what is the constant of proportionality below? This constant of proportionality is the same thing as the unit rate. Okay, so it's not asking if it is proportional, it's saying what is that proportionality? What is the unit rate? So pick one point, okay? Pick one point that has an exact y value and an exact x value, and always do y over x. So for this specific point, my y value is 48 over, so it's $48 because it's dollars, and then 24 for the x, and that's students. So it's $48 for 24 students. Divide that in the calculator, see what you get. It's the same thing as saying 20 divided by 24 divided by 24. And I get 1 student at the bottom, which is what I want for unit rate, how much it is for one item. In this case, it's students. So 48 divided by 24, that gets you 2. So it's $2 for 1 student. That is the constant of proportionality. That is the unit rate for this graph. And for later down the line, if I were writing an equation, my equation would be y equals 2x. It did not ask for this part in this question, but just so that you remember, that's what that means. Okay. That's how I can write an equation, by using the unit rate and putting it in front of the x. All right, number 4. It says a store is selling t-shirts. What is the best deal? Select all correct answers that apply. All right, so money goes on top. So I'm going to do 26 divided by 8 for this one. For this one, I'm going to do 15 divided by 4. For this one, I'm going to do 45 divided by 10. And we'll see which one has the best price. So 26, I'm putting it into the calculator. 26 divided by 8 is 3.25. 15 divided by 4 is 3.75. 45 divided by 10 is 4.5. So this is the same thing as $3.25. This is $3.75. This is $4.50. So which one's the cheapest one? A. All right, number 5. Show me an example of a rate and another example of a unit rate below. Well, I know that unit rate means that there's going to be a 1 at the bottom, no matter what it is. So I'm going to say it is $2.35 for one lollipop. That's an example of a unit rate. Now for a rate, it could just be something as simple as $10.46 for 5, I want to say grapes, but that's very expensive, but it's a rate. Okay, it's not a good rate, but it's a rate. It works. Okay, so for unit rate, the denominator is always 1. Okay, for the unit rate. That's the difference. All right, number 6. It says the following table shows 2 variables in a proportional relationship. Okay, I have E and F. It's proportional. It's a proportional table. Using the relationship between E and F as shown in the table, find the value of F when E equals 11. Okay, well, there's different ways we can do this. One, I could pick a point and divide. So 25 over 5 equals 5, which makes that my equation, it makes my equation be y equals 5x, like what we were talking about for number 3 right here. Okay, same kind of thinking. And then what I could do is plug the numbers in, and I can say that this is y and this is x, because usually in a table, x is first and then y is second, so that's how I know. So I can rewrite it to say f equals 5e, and then I can plug 11 in for e, and I will see that f equals 55. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Or there's an easier way of doing it, knowing that for this one, it works out this way. I'm multiplying by 5 each time. So if I say that e is 11, I multiply by 5 and I get 55. Okay, so there's different ways of doing it. The way that they wanted us to teach you was this way. Okay, so that you find that unit rate, you make an equation, you substitute an answer, and get a solution. That's how they want us to teach it to you. Number 7. The ratio of the measurement of a length in yards to the measurement of the same length in feet is constant. This implies that the measurement of a length in yards is directly proportional to the measurement, let's just say of, the same length in feet. The measurement in yards of a length is inversely proportional. The measurement in yards of a length is equivalent to the measurement of the same length in feet. There's no relationship between the two measurements. Well, there actually is a relationship, because I know that 3 feet equals 1 yard. So there is a relationship, so I can cut that off. Well, yards is not equal to the number of feet. So it's saying that 1 yard is equal to 1 foot. That's not true. We also didn't do anything with inversely proportional, so that doesn't make sense. So just following the process of elimination, here we go. It's directly proportional to one another. For every 1 yard, there's 3 feet, no matter what. So that is what the answer is, A. The measurement of a length in yards is directly proportional to the measurement of the same length in feet. It's not equal to it. It's not inversely proportional. We didn't use anything like that. And there is a relationship. Okay. Number 8. According to the table, how much does one ticket cost? Okay, well, pick one point. Money always goes on top. So 28 divided by 4, that makes 7. There we go. You could also do this by saying 3 times what equals 21? 7. 4 times 7 is 28. 5 times 7 is 35. 6 times 7 is 42. Okay, but they want us to teach you using unit rates. So it's the same thing as like divide by 4, divide by 4, you get 7 over 1, which is $7. $7 per ticket. For one ticket. Number 9. What is the constant of proportionality in the following equation? So what's that unit rate? Again, it's just honing in on the fact that you know how to write the equation using the unit rate. That's what it is. Number 10. Use the data in the table to give an equation to represent the proportional relationship. Oh, so I have to find the unit rate and then write an equation. Okay, so pick one. Oh, this one's the easiest. Y over X is 14 over 1. I get 14. No matter which one you pick, you're always going to get 14. Okay, so that means my equation is Y equals 14X, which is A. Number 11. Freddie is building a house and has 5 loads of gravel delivered for the work. His total cost for the gravel is $1,750. Which equation correctly shows the relationship between the cost C and loads of gravel G? All right, so this whole time we're doing unit rates, right? And we do Y over X or money on top. So let me go ahead and do that. 1750 divided by 5. Okay, so I can put that in the calculator. I can do long division. Let's see what that's going to get us. So I'll just use the calculator. 1750 divided by 5, and we get 350. So $350 per one load. So which equation correctly shows the relationship between the cost C and the loads of gravel G? So the cost is 350 per load of gravel, and gravel is G in this case, so that is B. Number 12. The graph shows the relationship between the number of classes in the school and the total number of students. How many students are there per class? So it gives you a direct point, and we know we always have to do Y over X and or money on top. So then I can do 45 divided by 3. 45 divided by 3 is actually 15. Okay, and if I wanted to do it properly, I would divide this way and I would get this. So 15 students per one class. And that makes that one. Okay. Number 13. Make sure you're showing all this work. Okay, number 13, according to the information given on the graph, how much would 20 boards cost? Okay, 20 boards. Okay, well, let's see. So first I need to find my unit rate, because if I look at 10 for boards, I don't know the cost. It's going to be somewhere up here. So first I should find my unit rate. And if you look right here, look, my X is 1. Here's my X and here's my Y. 10 over 1, that's Y over X. My unit rate is 10, so I can do Y equals 10X. Or if I didn't recognize that automatically, I can do 40 divided by 4, and that gets us 10 as well. So then I can write my equation Y equals 10X. So if X represents boards And y equals cost, it says how much would 20 boards cost? Y equals 10 times, 10 times 20, yep. So y equals whatever that is, which is 200. That's the cost. So there we go. Writing those equations is very helpful for you to predict future values, which is what we just did right now. We didn't see the value of 10 on this graph. It's somewhere way up there when this line extends. So in order to do that, we can write an equation using that unit rate, plug it in, and see what we get. Number 14, does this graph represent a proportional relationship? Enter your answer as yes or no in the box given below and explain how you know. So is this a proportional relationship? Yes. It is a straight line. And it passes through the origin. You can say it goes to the origin. That's the same thing. This is what makes it a proportional relationship. Okay. All right. So ratios and proportional relationships. The best thing to remember is that you always do y over x or put money on top. All right. Know the difference between a rate and a unit rate, which is very evident in question number 5. Remember, the denominator for a unit rate has to equal 1. It has to be 1 because it's how much is it per one something. Okay, so that's all it is over and over again. Look, y over x. Y is usually the cost. So if I have an equation, say like y equals 7x, all right, then this is usually the cost. Cost equals 7x. Tickets could be t, it could be x, it could be anything. Okay, so you can make equations once you have that unit rate, the same pattern over and over again. You can make an equation to predict future values. All right, I hope this helps you. Feel free to look at your homeworks and other assignments to help you while you are studying for a retake. All right, good luck. Bye.